The livestock sector currently is confronted by two elements of bad news despite all the good ones. The good ones are, of course, the contributions to food and nutritional security, transforming rural sector, smallholders getting out of poverty and so on. But the sector is also challenged by its environmental footprint and concern that consuming animal source foods lead to poor health. So I think in both of those, the voices from the north and the voices from the south differ quite a bit, and it needs to be nuanced quite a bit. In many parts of the world, we consume too much. North America, Europe, in some sense, we can perhaps eat a little less livestock source foods. But many parts of the developing world, we ought to consume more given the very importance of animal source food to nutrition, particularly within the first 1,000 days. So we need a bit of a nuanced debate about what is good for different parts of the world and different peoples. And this is what the global agenda can contribute. This more nuanced discussion among so many stakeholders. Those who are involved in health and nutrition, those who are involved in the environment, poverty, and so on. Part of what we're going to do this afternoon on tools is a very important part of that, because these tools would help us understand, for example, what are the things we can do to make the livestock sector more environmentally sustainable. Where are we having too much emissions, where we can reduce it, and how, and those kinds of analytical tools that help us to focus in on what are the problem and how we can solve it. And tools also to look at the nutritional aspects, how much are people consuming, what their needs, what their possibilities are, and so on. So the tools that we're going to be talking about this afternoon would help us very much in this more nuanced debate on the global agenda for livestock. These focus groups have identified some very key areas on which to work. As I said, part of it is the environmental part, another part is the nutrition, but there are also other focus groups that are looking at, for example, antimicrobial resistance is emerging as a big issue in the developing world. What is the real story about this, particularly in the developing world, and what can we do about it? That for me is a key issue coming up. And if we can continue this work on these focus groups that are largely problem-oriented, I think we'll be making good headway. We'll be getting products that can be used by a large number of stakeholders in many parts of the world.